Welcome to the Ian and Taryn podcast.
Online.
Welcome to the Ian and Taryn podcast. We're joined by Vincent Blackshear at Vincent Blackshear Comic. We're going to have a fun time today talking about the struggles and the fun times of an up-and-coming comedian. Welcome, Vincent.
Hey guys, great to be here in spirit.
Yeah, definitely. And Taryn's a little sick, so she won't be joining us. So just me.
I'm sick of me as well. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And do you prefer Vincent or Vince?
It's whatever, man. It's,
Yeah.
Vincent, Vince.
Okay, either one. Perfect.
Either one's fine.
Yeah, I was watching a few of your clips on YouTube. You won the Laugh Award in 2016.
Yeah, I did.
I couldn't see any clips of you actually performing it, but I saw them announcing the winner. So I saw that one.
You know what's weird is when I had won that, I've only been doing comedy for like 3 or 4 months.
Oh, wow.
It was more along the lines of an improv competition.
Yeah.
So they throw you like a topic, and you just kind of mess around with it, and see what you could come up with. And I made it to like the finals, and they're having like me next to Giles and Sharp and John Gilligan and all these other comedians who are way more better and experienced than I am.
Yeah.
And then even they were looking at me like, "Oh, well, this guy won this." So I was like, "Cool, it was awesome." And it was just that's what got me addicted to comedy, really. Just that night. Yeah, and the idea of being in front of like an audience and all that. And that's when I was like, you know what am I having this normal life for? Let me just go ahead and try this shit. You know?
Definitely, yeah, might as well. How many people were in the competition?
Man, a good amount. Like maybe 16 comedians.
Oh, wow.
And they just dwindled it down from there. But it's funny because after I won that, it kind of backfired because because people saw me there and they were like, "This guy's hilarious. He's the next big thing." And I didn't say any of that to anyone. I was like, "Dude, I'm not shit yet." And that's what I still tell people till this day. But people started booking me for shows, and they booked me on one show downtown, and I just bombed horribly.
Definitely. And what's funny is I hear that all the time from comedians, like, "Oh, I blew up quick," and then like people wanted me to do like a sold out show and all this, and I wasn't ready. Like, that's always the scenario. Like, you have to have experience with huge crowds and, big rooms. You can't just go from like a little thing to like, boom, now you're basically opening for a big name,
Not only that, but you need to have material.
Right,
and at like 3-4 months, I had like 2 dick jokes. Like that was like jokes that were kind of funny, but it was like compared to what I have now, at least the stuff I have now is like thought out and it's written and there's like punchlines. Like back then it was just like ideas barely.
Right.
So when that's all you have, you're kind of like thrown into the fire of it. And then that really motivated me to like write every day and try to make things sound like how I would say them. It's something I'm still kind of going through now, but man, it's, I've been able to somehow stick with it and I love it. So it's like, I don't understand how people can always do something that they don't love and work hard at it. It's easy to work hard at something you really enjoy. So
100%.
That's how it got better.
It's hard to find that thing though. Some people don't ever find that thing that they love and want to put the work into, Hey, man, there's someone 50 years old stacking boxes at Walmart right now. Yeah.
He's been doing that shit for the last 30 years.
Yeah, been hating his life, yeah.
Dude, it's not even a thing of, like, hating his life. It's more of a thing of he's not awake to what life can be, man.
Yeah, just no interest, just that is his life. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
And you have the wrong values. He's like, well, at least I'll make enough to make a living. And I was like, yeah, you make a living, but do you really live, though? Like,
right.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Because I used to do that. I've had career jobs where I would go to work and come back. And it's like, man, I used to be a correctional officer. I was a CO for 3 years. It was horrible.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because I saw your special on YouTube, the Laughter Uncorked Part 2. So
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up. How did you get into that? Don't you have to go to school to be a CO and all this stuff?
That's what people think, right?
Really?
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
My father was a correctional officer for like 20 odd years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so he kind of told me about it because at the time I was just like working a security job, and I was like, oh, this pays, and like my main job was to make sure the guys outside of Home Depot didn't go into the store, but on the low, Home Depot wanted them there because they attract customers.
Oh, definitely.
So,
yeah.
Exactly. So my dad was like, just become a CO. So I applied, and they gave me the whole, you go to the academy for like 6 weeks, which is just pretty much learning how to use handcuffs and then like learning a couple like call signs, and that's really it.
Yeah.
And then they throw you in. Dude, there's people that came out of working for an Albertsons to being a correctional officer
Really?
in prison.
Oh,
like,
my God, yeah.
Man, I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
It's the highest dropout rate. Put it this way. I got put in my prison with like 12 other officers from my academy. By the time I left there, which is 3 years later, there was only one guy out of those 12 guys still there.
Oh, wow. And is it really true that the prisoners run it and you're just like kind of trying to maintain something?
At the end of the day, I mean, the numbers are so lopsided.
Right,
Put it this way. On the yard, we may have like 30 officers on a good day.
Yeah.
There's 2,000 inmates in there.
Oh, yeah. If they want to riot, it's over.
Dude, and we don't have guns.
Oh, right.
Like,
because they could
the
steal
tower
them
people
or
have
something.
guns.
Yeah. Oh.
The guys on the towers have guns. Inside, you don't have a gun. So it's just your people skills, man.
Oh.
And that's where one of the easiest things with doing stand-up is speaking in front of people, because I used to have to speak in front of 200 murders. So it's like...
Oh, yeah. So much easier when it's some drunk white people or whatever.
Yeah. That part came to me easy.
Oh.
The writing material part, that part takes forever. The being funny takes forever. But standing in front of people, that's not really a problem for me. I've done that forever.
Yeah, I feel like some people struggle with just that aspect alone, which makes it very uncomfortable to watch.
Oh, that makes it great. As a comedian, I think the majority of comedians love watching other comics struggle and bomb. Like it's... Oh, yeah. Well, because you know how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been doing this for a year, 5-6 months, but man, when I see a friend go up there and he's eating dick, it's just so great to watch. And it's like, because I know if it's my friend, I usually have respect for him as a comic or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, man, he'll come back from this, but obviously this needed to happen. Yeah,
it takes those struggles to like kind of overcome that.
Exactly. Man. And also, it's not me, it's someone else. And I get to watch. It's like, just laugh at their sorrow, and then they get off stage, and guess what? They're still alive. Everything's fine.
Yeah, and then you can bust his balls for the next 6 months over it, too.
Not 6 months, just for, a week or something like that. Yeah. Just a week. You bring it up every now and then. Like, remember that time you sucked dick over here? Like, and then that's it. Everyone bombs. There's no big deal.
Oh, of course. Hopefully they move past it. So I was loving your jokes, like the Bruno Mars joke. That I think that was really funny. And did you really smoke before work of being a CEO?
Yeah, man.
God,
man.
So funny.
I smoked before work. Yeah, it's a stressful job. They should just give it to you. But
definitely. Were you paranoid though?
You know what? In prison, it's not really paranoia. It's just kind of the way you have to be.
Yeah, it kind of helps you just be kind of normal.
Well, yeah, because I think a paranoia has some shit that doesn't make sense. Like, you're always worried about someone coming to get you.
Right.
In prison, that's a real possibility. Like,
oh, definitely, yeah.
It should definitely be a worry about someone, for the majority of days were chill.
Really?
Because I wasn't an asshole. I was a very fair officer. Yeah. Like, I respected people. A lot of officers don't treat inmates like people. I thought everyone has a person.
Yeah.
But you also have to remember that these guys are criminals and they're manipulative people. So you can't relax.
Definitely.
How you relax at home, you can't do that in prison. And it makes you hate being around people because you just see everyone like, I can't trust you.
That's so weird. And did you have any sort of protection, like a knife or pepper spray or something?
You had the option of pepper spray, but I was like, look, but if it's something really going down, by the time I grab that, I'll be dead anyway.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know, so whatever. But yeah, man.
It might make you look scared if you have it, huh?
Some people, yeah, there were different cans. There were dudes that had like a milk gallon-sized can of pepper spray tied up to their knee, so like they could spray entire crowds.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
It's a bit fucking much, but yeah, man, I smoked before. I drank. I remember New Year's.
Yeah.
On New Year's, I drank like 2 shots of whiskey before I went.
Yeah.
Man, it was fuck it. You know, it's I'll go ahead and do my job. Whatever.
Yeah, gotta show.
You're lucky I'll show up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm one of the only motherfuckers showing up here that's not sentenced to be here.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's good. At least you put in your time, and it seems like you at least got some good material from it, if nothing else.
Yeah, man, and it helps. I think it helps with a lot of like just being in front of crowds, talking to people. And now that I'm doing like stand up, it's very it is a wealth of material. I try not to reach for it a lot, but it's like some of my best jokes come from that, because your best jokes come from real experience.
Definitely, yeah. And in fact, like Joey Diaz, I think he became a comedian because, well, he was locked up, but he would like kind of hold court and do these like impromptu stand-up sessions in front of all the prisoners. You know, and then when he got out, he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do this," and he's been killing the game.
Man, I'm a huge Joey Diaz fan. He's fucking remarkable, and I mean anyone that knows 2 cents about stand-up loves Joey Diaz.
Oh, of course. I was gonna ask you what your influences are, but I imagine they're similar to mine, like a Brian Callen, a Chris D'Elia, a Burt Kreischer, a Joe Rogan, of course, right?
I like right now, like Joey Diaz is definitely in that category, but I talk to comics about this. Like this is a conversation that comes up.
Yeah.
Like Bill Burr.
Oh, of course, Burr. Yeah.
Hannibal Burress.
I love Burress. Have you heard his podcast?
Yeah, man, it's a great podcast.
It's good. Yeah.
He has like a DJ on there.
Yeah. It makes it a little more fun. You know, he's not like the best interviewer, but I like podcasts for like the regular hangout. You know?
Well, yeah, it should definitely feel like a conversation. Yeah. It's weird when you're talking to someone and they're just like,
what did you do? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fucking strange, man. I like it to feel like a conversation, you know? But it's weird how, like, life has changed from, you know, being in such a structured environment to doing what I do now, you know, because there's always a way to do something. Comedy, there's no way to do it.
Right.
All the people I look at.
Yeah.
You know, all the people I look at, they do it their own way. Well, and that's the thing with art. You got to find out your way to do it.
Exactly. But the common thread seems to be grinding it out on those open mics. Yeah. You know, which you seem to be doing. Yeah. That's why when I see you like, oh, I'm in this whatever bar, this whatever place, I'm like, nice. Like, you're doing it, putting your name out there, because you have to grind until people care about you. You know?
Hey, man. You know, it's common advice. Like, if you ever ask another comic, like, I remember Tom Segura, another great comic.
Oh, love him. He's on my list.
Yeah. Yeah, man, he's fucking awesome. He said, a guy asked me advice one day, and I told him, just keep writing and keep going up. And that's really all you can do.
Right.
I mean, you can kind of teach someone basic joke structure, but you can't teach them where it's going to come from.
No, and being funny is like kind of a magical equation. It's like you gotta have this plus a little bit of that. Like you cannot teach someone to be funny. So if you're relatively funny but also willing to put in the work, I think that's what really makes you a good comic. You know?
Hey man, you could get a laboratory, a German laboratory, and 5 Chinese scientists, and you won't be able to make a good comedian.
No, definitely not. Yeah, complete opposite, probably.
Straight up, man. There's no science to this. It's your own shit trying to find out what works for you. You know, you waste your time being like someone else. You're going to waste a lot of time.
And there is kind of that, like, lucky factor, too. Like, Burt Kreischer was saying he only worked the door at the Comedy Store for 6 months. And then he got picked up for the Travel Channel. So
it happens. Man.
Yeah, there is that kind of wow. And then I always hear like, it's got to be 10 years. You have to put in 10, 15 years. Then you get some payoff. But, you know, like Kevin Hart didn't do that. You know, so there is ways around it, but it takes having that intangible aspect to you.
Everyone finds their own way. Just like me, I didn't really I got put on roast battles and stuff, but I never got a spot at the local comedy club here, LA Comedy Club, that's Stratosphere, great place. But I hung out there for maybe since the end of the year before last year.
Yeah.
And I got like spots on the midnight show too, like once or twice, but they never really put me on a legit show until recently.
Oh, really? How'd you do?
Oh, it went fucking well, man. They had me back to host the show, you know, so it went great and it was awesome, but it was just one of those things to where you gotta pay your dues, man. You gotta pay your dues. I was cleaning tables and shaking hands and knee work. You know, bring the pads. This is what you're here for.
Yeah. Gotta grind it out. Have you heard of Kill Tony?
Kill Tony, yes, I have.
Why don't you try and be on that show?
Well, it's one of those things to where it would be awesome. Like it's a 1 minute deal.
Yeah.
Which I like. I do have shorter jokes that would work like that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's also one of those things to where like it's a lottery concept.
Right.
Like, you know, you go there, you gotta wait, you gotta pick. Like I can be at a mic right now working on material.
Oh, definitely.
You know.
But
like
with
Kill
their
Tony,
reach,
exactly.
they have a big reach in it. I don't know who's picking the names, but if I'm Tony Hinchcliffe or Brian Redband, I might have you up because generally it's going to be white dudes and that maybe one white girl, right? So you might have a little edge when that's concerned, right? Or do you think it's really random?
You know what? I can't call it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know them. I'm not super a fan of the show, but I have seen it and I do like the way they do it.
Okay.
But it would be one of those things to where if I drop to LA, I want to definitely go up, definitely go on some shows. I don't want it to be a thing where it's like a maybe.
Right. But
you know,
Comedy Store, if you do well, I listen to it all the time. So if you do well, they can be like, hey, we're doing this show if you want to come. You know? My
boy, Dave Yates, very good comic out of LA.
Yeah.
Was on the Cool Tony podcast, killed it. And then they booked him at the Ice House and gave him this and gave him that. But then again, my thing is like, it's also to the point where I know I can do good for that 1 minute, but also if they gave me more, I want to be able to have that same quality for 15.
Right, and that's got to be the hard part. Is
exactly. So
boiling it down and then having a full 15 if you make it past that.
Exactly. So I want to be more than ready for anything I would do in that aspect.
Yeah,
because a lot of people, they come out early and then they fuck up their opportunity.
Yeah, and then
if I do get an opportunity, I'm more than ready for it, you know?
Definitely. How many minutes do you think you have now?
Man, I'd probably say I can do 10 and be okay. I can do 8 and be really good.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds good.
And that's a realistic view of it, because I've seen guys that have been doing it for as long as me, or maybe like a year, and they're like, I got 30. I'm like, how the fuck do you have 30? Like,
no chance.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah, stretching it.
You have like 30 where like 25 is you bombing? Like, is that
right?
Is that what it is?
I got 30. It's no good though, but I got 30. That's funny.
Yeah, I can try to remember a joke for 5 minutes, and that's
right.
it's just weird, man. So yeah.
You like how I talk like I'm a comedian and I'm not?
You know what, man? I think everyone wants to kind of be a comedian. Like, people love being the funny person at work.
Yeah.
Even hecklers. Like, I had a comic explain it to me perfectly. It was like, you know, all hecklers are? They're just people who really wish they were comedians.
Oh, jealous. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, that makes total fucking sense.
For sure. And to me, it kills me because I listen to all these comedians and it'll ruin your special or your set or all this stuff. And I'm like, really? You're that drunk where you have to interject? Like, this isn't like an impromptu thing where I'm just like making up these jokes. Like, this is planned out. And everyone should realize this is planned out, you know? Like, please don't mess this up.
But they don't give a fuck.
I know, they really don't.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
I was at an open mic like 2 weeks ago. It's a Savage open mic, and there's a lady in the corner, and I'm trying this joke, and it's not working, and and she had yelled some shit out, and she had told me, like, get to something better. And I look at her, and she has 2 black eyes.
Oh, no.
2 of them. So I'm like, all right, lady with 2 black eyes, please give me life advice. But heckling creates magical moments.
Yeah. If
because
you can handle it right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, I won my very first, like, open mic competition win was at the dive bar, and I won it because this old dude started heckling me, saying how, like, I'm a veteran or some shit. And he was like old, he was like 85. And I was like, you're just jealous because I know I'm going to be alive in 3 months or whatever. I just started talking shit to him, and I won the competition. And it's one of those little things where you can work with it. It can work out to be something for you.
Definitely. Or it can go the other way. I was just going to ask you how you feel about the SJWs.
That's happened before, too.
Yeah, because everyone's like, oh, I'm offended or whatever. It's like, you're here for comedy. Can you not just hear this joke, laugh or not, and then that's it?
Nah, that's not a thing.
I know it's so weird though. It's like, you're here for comedy. Why would I need to be politically correct and make everyone happy? That's not funny.
Nah, man. If you want politically correct, you can watch the news or something. You can watch Good Morning America.
Yeah.
You can watch those 2 bitches on Fox drink the wine or whatever.
Definitely.
You can watch that because that's humor for you. You can watch Ellen. You can watch Ellen and talk shows and all that. You can laugh at that shit.
Yeah.
But real stand up, there's going to be. It's my point of view. But the magic about it is if it's funny enough, you can get by with anything.
That's how I feel.
Anthony Jeselnik has a perfect example. That guy has some crucial jokes, but it's hilarious, and it's like you can't say anything bad about it because it's funny.
And I really like him personally. He's also on Kill Tony all the time because he does not care. He'll give it to you raw, right to your face. And there's something like respectable about that, where he's not like beating around the bush. He's like, you suck. And then he has some awesome tagline to that. It's kind of crazy to hear sometimes.
That's who ends up being that's who really gives a fuck, though.
Right.
Like, there's multiple comics I would consider my friends now, but when I'm really, really, like, I'm still just starting to do this, but when I really, really just started doing this, they were the ones who told me, man, you're fucking trash, or something like that. And because I was. And that's the thing about it. Like, you have to realize that.
And it's good
you
to know
can't get better till you realize you suck.
Right. And I hear there's plenty of comics that do the same thing forever, and they suck. It's like nobody told them. Sometimes you gotta be told.
They caught a laugh at one thing, and then they're like, "I'm going to keep this thing forever." It's like a security blanket.
Yeah,
it's weird, man. It's like purgatory.
I couldn't imagine.
It's like the Phantom Zone, but for comedy.
Yeah,
they just fly away in that piece of glass doing the same material
forever. Oh. So what's your writing schedule like?
It's just whenever I think about something, man. I've almost hit kids in traffic because I thought thought of an idea. It's straight. I put my phone out on the 15. Yeah. Man, I've mid court trials. Fucking. After sex, immediately get to the phone. Yeah. Something. If I have an idea, I want to write it down because I have a really bad memory. So
definitely,
I want to be able to market, and if a premise. If I really write, like, it's before shows, I sit down and I'll write some shit out and really work on it. Yeah. But ideas and tags and whatever, that's whenever it comes up, man. At work. I'll have the notebook at work, just whatever, So
perfect, You just type it into your phone or you write it in an actual notepad?
Both, man.
Both, yeah. Whatever's right
Premises
there.
And ideas. Yeah. My phone, but actually working on a joke and getting the shit I'm trying to get out of it, that takes like a notebook.
Definitely. That's how I feel with anything. It's better to kind of write it down.
That takes half a joint, no pants on, a notebook. That's what that takes.
Oh, definitely. So why don't you have a YouTube channel?
Man, because I don't feel like I have anything. The one you saw. Yeah. That was a clip that another dude had put up.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, personally, I don't feel like I have anything YouTubeable yet, if that's a word.
Okay, I get that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get to the point where I have, like, a nice enough venue you know, where the crowd is decent and the venue's nice. Then I could have a professional person like film a 5 or whatever. Then I might put that on YouTube.
Something solid.
But for the most part, yeah, exactly. But for the most part, right now, I don't feel like I have anything like YouTubeable, because it's weird. Every time I had like a really good set, I never have a person with a camera. I never have a person videotaping because I'm so focused on just doing good. But now I'm starting to think of the business side of it. Like, well, I do need that.
Definitely, because look at, say, Crystalia, killing it. His social media is, I gotta say, probably the best in the game, right? Do you follow him?
I think I follow him on Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, on Instagram, his Instagram stories killing it. His posts,
really?
like, killing it all the time. He seems to be the example of what to do, but I couldn't imagine trying to be funny literally 24/7 every single day. You know, maybe he is just that magical, but if he isn't, that's a lot of work going into each one of these videos, you know?
Yeah, it could be trying, or it could just be, you know, he makes sure to record a lot of the shit he does because he's a naturally funny person.
Yep, that could be it. And he's a multimillionaire, so maybe he has a cameraman and all that.
There you fucking go.
Yeah.
He has a cameraman who's on him all the time.
Yeah.
If you even chuckle, you press the fucking record button. Don't skip a beat.
Yep, might as well. So let's talk about you being buff.
Yeah, man. I just posted that picture from years ago.
I know. I saw that. How much, I don't want to say smaller, but what did you weigh in that picture?
Oh, that was with a very small amount of fat. That was like 210, man. 210,
wow.
That's back in the day.
And benching what kind of weight?
Oh, I was only benching like maybe 315, but that was like, it was more of a thing of I just liked working out, and then it became like a bodybuilding thing. Yeah. This was like 5 years ago. So
really,
at the same time, I was working in prison. So it kind of was a way to like relieve stress.
Definitely. And the bigger you are, the less people want to mess with you, I would imagine.
It's weird though, because I'm not that type of person. I'm I'm a soft motherfucker. Like I'm a very approachable person. I like joking around.
Yeah.
And, you know, so when I stopped working in prison, it became this thing to where I don't like this anymore because it's not who I am.
Yeah. And
a lot of people can't fess up to that. And they end up holding on to something because it becomes part of their identity.
Yeah. Don't want that.
You know.
Shave your head and you get the Harley and the tats on your forearms and all that stuff.
You get fucking leather vests.
Yeah.
You know. You start wearing beach shorts.
Definitely, yeah.
Open-toe sandals.
Oh, that's funny.
It all falls downhill.
Yeah, I just recently started bodybuilding now, but I was tiny. I'm still gonna like forever be tiny, so it's crazy to even hear like a 315 bench to me, you know, because I'm struggling with like a 200. You know?
It just takes time and commitment and fucking just doing it. If you really want to do it, you'll fucking do it. Yeah. Read books on it.
Natural ability, I think, has a lot to do with it too. Like. Just genetics. Like I was small, I was 130, now I'm 165, but it's like that's been such a struggle. I'm like force feeding myself, you know, going to the gym all the time. It's just tough for me.
Man, I'm half Asian, so I don't have necessarily the best genetics for it.
Right.
Like it'd be different if I was like triple Samoan or something, but I'm not.
Definitely.
So it was just a thing of just killing yourself and just hating yourself. Yeah. It's just like going to open mics. You have to hate yourself.
Yeah, grind it.
You have to hate yourself and be kind of fucking weird to want to do it.
Definitely. And I saw you jam into Stankonia.
What? Dude, I love. Yeah.
So how old are you?
I'm 26.
26, nice. I'm 27. So you're right there in my ballpark where like that was rap. Like that was actually the first album I bought in my entire life. And my dad was like, I'm not going to let you get this. I'm like, I'm getting this. But I loved that whole album from front to back. Then it was like Nellyville, all that stuff. But how do you feel about rap currently? Like new rap?
Man, I guess there's always going to be a new of whatever you like.
Yeah.
But this is just a fad. It's just like with the dance rap when that came out, you know, and everyone started snapping their fingers and fucking moving their feet in 3X white shirts. Like that lasted 2-3 years and then it went away.
Which I did, by the way.
Jay-Z. What?
Which I did, by the way, with my Air Force Ones and everything.
Exactly. And everyone was Soldier Boy and all. Everything has its time. But real shit, Jay-Z said it best. He has a quote where he goes, real shit lasts forever.
Yeah.
I still listen to Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
killing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, people like Kendrick Lamar, a perfect example. Some of his songs are going to be popular forever.
Right.
It's going to be a classic. All this other shit, you're not going to hear All My Friends Are Dead 50 years from now.
Right.
You're not going to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just stupid shit that with a beat that someone, liked, and now it's a thing.
Definitely. And it's weird. Who I just had on before you, this guy's name is Bass Lord Jorphy. He's like, I'd say an underground rapper, like on SoundCloud and all that stuff. I was talking about, man, like, I guess I don't even know new rap because he's naming off all these people. I'm like, man, I don't get it. And I was referring to Lil Xan hating Tupac. He's like, man, we're just a different generation. Like, and it's weird because I don't feel that old, but apparently now we're just old, and that's just like the new stuff. It's just like we're past our prime when it comes to the hot rap. Isn't that weird to think of?
Man, I don't even look. It's not weird for me because I don't even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
You got to live in your own world, man. You can't try to keep up.
Yeah.
Because then look. One of the saddest things to see is when you see like an 80-year-old wearing an Ed Hardy T-shirt. Like,
yes,
you're fucking posing to be a different generation. Like, just be you. Just fucking listen to Led Zeppelin and fucking sit down. That's it.
Yeah.
You can always appreciate older things, but when something is too new for you, don't try to act like you know about the shit.
Yeah. Man, I was just like, I don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. And this guy, Jorphy, like, he was awesome. He was talking about, like, I may say, like, I'm drinking this, I'm taking these pills, but he doesn't drink or smoke. So he's just kind of like, it's more of like a character, And I was like, it was really cool for him to say that, for it to be treated more as like art than like do as I say,
Exactly.
So it was super weird for me to hear that. But it was a very good interview. But also, you've been doing great too, Vincent. Appreciate you. I'll hit you up after this and get your info, send you a shirt, and I'll let you know when this is out. Should be out I'm going to shoot for Thursday.
Thanks, Ian. Send me the info so I could spread word about it, man. Perfect. And I appreciate being on the podcast, brother.
Great, bro. Appreciate it, and keep up the good work yourself.
You as well, sir. Have a great one.
Talk to you later. Peace. All right, that has been Vincent Blackshear at Vincent Blackshear Comic, Laugh Award winner 2016. Look him up on YouTube. It's 10 minutes, good 10 minutes. I think it was from early 2017. Vincent Blackshear, Laughter Uncorked Part 2. Part DEUX 2. News for all you people who might still be here. Stem cell trial in UK. They're going to do a stem cell trial finally. If you listen to Joe Rogan, you know this is a miracle drug. You don't need surgery for your shoulders, your knees, your hips. If you do the full body IV stem cells, it'll rejuvenate your whole body. I'm not a doctor, but I've been hearing plenty of different podcasts on it. It's basically a miracle drug. But who might be blocking it? If you listen to this podcast, you already know. Big Pharma. On another sad note, on the Bass Lord Jorphy we were talking about, at the end I was talking about the explosions in Texas. Now there's been another device that exploded. Another one found at the packaging unit, like FedEx or something like that. So it's kind of crazy. I don't know how this is going to stop. But, like, when people go, like, ban all guns, it makes me go, like, what? Like, bombs have been illegal, so what do we do about this? Another shooting. A gunman died, killed himself in Maryland. 2 students injured. So, really terrible. I wish there was a way to fix this, but there isn't. People are crazy. hope you guys have a good week. This one's got to be out on Thursday. I'm kind of doing a bunch right now, but hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment below. All right, guys. Peace.
You've been listening to the Ian and Taryn podcast. See you next week.
Goodbye.